Hey everyone, welcome to Ink Scribes, the comics podcast where we discuss the art and craft of comics. I'm Colin Singh, I'm an aspiring comics artist, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Eric Zawadzki, the artist on the critically acclaimed Assorted Crisis events, out now from Image Comics, and Taylor Stauft, the creator of Luke Zenith and Scorpio Gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Today, very special episode where we're going to be looking at the work of comics great Mike Grell. Grell was a huge influence on the original serial comics market in the 70s and the 80s. More than half, if not most of his work was all original work. There was not as much corporate comics. He did have big runs on Green Arrow, Iron Man, Legion of Superheroes, but today we're going to be looking at his work on Warlord, which has most recently been re-released by DC Comics in an omnibus edition.
That's right. Yes, it's finally out. And this is actually a series I kind of stumbled upon just because I liked the kind of conceit of it.
It feels like this character has been memory hold. Like, I didn't know this character existed. I grew up on 90s comics. Colin, did you know about this character?
Yeah, I always knew about Warlord. My dad and my uncle both read Warlord. Yeah.
What about you, Taylor?
I had stumbled across him just through going to back issue sales and seeing like, oh, okay, the mustache and beard combination, that's real Longbow Hunters era. Okay. And just knowing Grell, but also like, man, the 70s are a wild time. So I just kind of thought, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this $2 book and see where it goes.
Well,
and
I feel like you're all about 70s comics.
I am, yeah. as I'm realizing about myself, the Bronze Age is my jam.
In the 80s, though, like not just because my dad was reading it, but also the ads in DC Comics were always advertising Warlord as well. So he was, the series ran for over 130 odd issues. So it had some legs, right? He's a pretty enduring character.
So long.
He's part of the DC canon, right?
He is. He is. Yep. Yeah. He's got there's a whole article from Grell about the effects that Crisis on Infinite Earth has on Warlord. Even though it's like, it's pretty removed. And it gets more integrated as it goes. Apparently the last third. So, well, actually, it goes for 133 issues, and so those last 40 are where he gets more integrated. And according to other YouTubers that I trust because of the amount that they have, it really goes off the rails towards that back third. But in the beginning,
okay, but my understanding is that the beginning here, it's not in the DCU at all.
It's probably not intended to, no.
There was the Two Morrows interview. What does he say? He says that Julie Schwartz created a phrase, call it the Grellverse. It didn't fit into the niche, so in order to explain this, there was Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, and Earth Grell. And that was kind of a joke. He laughed.
Yeah, but like the Warlord has also, I took that as kind of like, sure, like it's so far removed, no one's coming in, because that was the point, right? Is that no one's coming in. Superman's not going to fly down through the hole in the North Pole.
Right. But at the same time, it was very Earth based. So, it was contemporary at the time, and it's still one of those characters of the ilk of like Adam Strange or John Carter, where, he gets transported to a whole nother world. But in this case, he's still on Earth. He just fell into Hollow Earth, like this whole other realm of Earth that we had no idea about, but it's still very Earth based, right? So it's malleable to be integrated into the DC continuity at any time.
Yeah.
Are you guys Hollow Earthers?
No, of course not. But
more likely to be a Hollow Earther than a Flat Earther.
That's true. Yeah, but Mike Grell was like, he read. This is
really.
This is pulling. He doesn't believe in the Hollow Earth, but in the very early 1900s, I am not surprised by that. But in the early 1900s, there were a lot of novels. There were at least 4 major novels that involved the Hollow Earth. Not least of which, Journey to the Center of the Earth, right? By Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and it was just something that, as a kid, he read. And between that, like Colin said, the John Carter, Adam Strange. I get Strange and Warlock conflated a lot. Yeah, just that kind of, you're pulled out. You crush them together, and you get the Warlord, in which our hero Travis Morgan goes to another planet without ever leaving the planet.
Yeah, on the first page, you get to see a diagram, which I just did a quick Google search of Hollow Earth, and like one of the first images that popped up was, or maybe it's the second page. If you do a Google search on Hollow Earth, you see a diagram that's very similar to that, which looks like an old diagram.
Yeah,
so
this is
that diagram that seems like it was referenced.
Yeah, I think, yeah, because there were a lot of these sorts of things, right? Of like, how would it work? Because later on, you also get like an explanation for, well, how is anything working? Gravity, and it's like 2 arrows pointing towards like the
So
center
simple.
mass. Yeah, and it's like, now I do want to make it clear, the point of this episode, right out the gate, as we have been talking, we've been doing this show for a bit now, and it's about our artistic journeys. And I thought, what better way to get inspired by a journey than to see one man's actual journey? Now, as eagle-eyed viewers will see, this is actually issue 51, but it is a reprint of the first issue, which is also kind of the second issue. There's weirdness with the publication of this of this book. The first issue appears in DC First Issue Special number 8, which
Such a weird name for a comic.
it is. And what's also weird
An
about it
ongoing
is
comic.
that it's not even a tryout book. It was just intended to be a first issue. There were no plans to make it a tryout book, which you would usually get 3 or 4 issues out of before transitioning to an independent series. The whole point of this was Carmine Infantino was like, no, we'll just have like the first issue of a series. They're the best sellers. So the series is nothing but first issues.
And I've got Jack Kirby's Atlas first issue special.
That's
I mean,
one.
that's a banger. Yeah.
And the thing is, though, as editorial and creatives pointed out, is, but then we can't, like, you can't make a first issue in 2 months' time. Like, we're creating a whole concept here, and people are going to know if you don't put the time in to create something that is going to go for an entire series. And Warlord is only one of 2 series that came out of this.
All together, right? Because it was a launch pad for new characters, new universes, and that sort of thing.
It certainly wanted to be, or
Warlord,
somebody.
what was the other one then?
Oh man, it wasn't even that.
It was not Atlas. I know that.
No, it's not. But it's. Let's take a quick look. The New Gods. The New Gods reboot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Return of the New Gods by Jerry Conway and Denny O'Neil, with Mike Vosberg on art. But like, that's already, like, you're right, like, that doesn't even count to my mind.
Yeah, just in my head, that's exactly what it said. I'm like, that's
yeah,
not
like,
and
it's already
actually
existed.
It was canceled with the 3rd issue, right? But
yeah,
then,
like, it didn't last that long. It just got more than.
Oh, sorry, I meant Warlord. Warlord was canceled with the 3rd issue, but then I guess what was it? Carmine Infantino exited, and then Jeanette Kahn was like, "Where's Warlord? I don't see it on the schedule." And then she brought it back to life.
I have not seen it described as canceled. I've just seen it described as delayed, which, yeah, it was the first issue special. issue 1, issue 2, and then I think it was either 6 or 8 months that before issue 3 came out. There was a huge
Oh
delay,
yeah, like
And
but
actually,
in,
that would explain, like, there's a little bit of a, I don't want to say disparity, but like in the terms of the quality of the book from 1 and 2, and then to 3, it's a little bit more modern looking for 80 standards.
mm,
Um, because if you even look at the cover of number 1 and compare it to this one, the cover of number 51, totally different. Like even the trade dress and everything is very still early 70s, you could say.
it's very house style. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
we
yeah,
should say the first issue was out in 1976,
There you go.
and then this issue 52 was what 1981. So we're gonna look at an artist, and it's like 6 year. It's almost 6 years between
yeah,
like the first issue and the issue 52. So we're gonna see a 6 year jump in his evolution.
yeah. Because that's what really got me about this idea. Right? Is we've been talking about, and Colin and I, less so Eric. He's got it made in the shade. But Colin and I looking to
I
move
wouldn't say that,
forward on
but
our artistic journeys.
That's
And
right.
what better way to get inspired than a man
Yeah.
that went all the fucking way? Because he doesn't just do this, right? He does Starslayer. He does John Sable
Yeah.
freelance. It's like the man turns shit out.
Yeah.
well, especially like in that Tomorrow's interview, he talked about starting out at DC and just saying yes to everything.
Yeah,
Every gig that came his way, he said yes to, and yeah, the schedule he was on was punishing.
yeah.
Mm.
um, there's this funny story where he basically says that like Joe Orlando's wife met him when he first got to DC, and
Hmm.
then he just took on so much work, and I think he was just like sleeping 3 hours a night
Run
because he was
ragged.
doing
Yeah.
so much work. And yeah, he said Joe Orlando's wife had met me when I first hit town, and 2 months later, she took a look at me and said, "My God, what happened to you?" I couldn't understand what she was referring to.
Yeah.
I took a look at myself in the mirror and realized I had aged quite considerably in that amount of time.
Yeah, it
So
was well, because which I can appreciate. The man, the way he tells it, he walks into DC. It basically as Dave Cockrum is walking out the door on
it's all
Legion
about
of
timing, right?
Superhero. Yeah, and they were like, "Yeah, you're pretty good, kid, and we desperately need somebody for this pretty popular series."
Yeah.
So
With 1,000 characters.
yeah, which he did say. He gave all due respect to Mr. Cockrum, who left like a bunch of model sheets behind for like to ensure that like the intricate lace on different characters is correct.
But not just that, but their age as well. Like he was
Oh yeah,
illustrating Superboy as well. He had to make him look, a certain age and that sort of thing. And
he
all
talks
his
a lot about
all his
the
hardships
costume.
aside, all the hardships aside, like we're looking at, like from Warlord 1 to 50, that's over 1,000 pages alone just for this book. That you can see a huge, like, that's why Taylor chose to approach it this way. Is we're looking at number 1 and we're looking at number 51. You're going to see as we get into this episode, it's crazy the amount, not only that he improves, but the quality of the book itself, and just it's like a time jump in terms of technology and innovation and that sort of thing in the comics field as well.
And yeah, exactly. And it's all just through that grind. Like he just the as we've said before and we'll say again, the price must be paid, and 52 issues. That's that price. I mean, just look at the because I do want to go. Just this is his style. This is drawing style at the time of publication, and then you could immediately see like, oh yeah, this is fine.
6 years prior.
It's
Yeah, like it's
mildly reminiscent of like Barry Windsor Smith on Conan number 1.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
but he
his biggest influence was Neil Adams, but I do see some Barry Windsor Smith here, which is inevitable. It is like a Conan type book, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's in that vein.
Yeah, but and he's a company guy at this point, right? He's not
He
the
had
Mike
worked on
Grell,
every DC book before this. He
pretty
had like
much. Yeah,
touched everything,
yeah. So he had.
and I think when he drew this, he drew like 3 other comics that month as well. So
Yeah, and this is coming
Ooh.
out of being an illustrator for the Air Force as well, right?
Yeah.
Like when you see things like the SR-71 Blackbird here, uh, like he can draw that because he had to. He he had to be able to draw this sort of technical stuff like parachute rigs and uh, the mask in the actual plane. Like all the technical stuff is really specific. And when we were talking before off mic, this is a peek behind the curtain. The anatomy that the guy has. I mean, just right away.
Yeah, very competent illustrator, like to start. And in the 70s, how old must he have been? He was born in 47. He's 78 now. But in the 70s, when he got his start, what would he have been? 30? Late 20s?
I think he would have been 30 in the second year of this, so he would have been late 20s. Yeah, when he started this.
For Legion, he would have been in his mid to late 20s, yeah?
Yeah,
Before this.
yeah, and not really a comics fan, but I do think we can see like, okay, this is the sort of thing that like he'll learn to get better at. Like for a second, I was while reading this, I was like, what is going on here? Oh, right, okay, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Lack of speed lines there, I would say.
Yeah, there's just like I get what he's doing when I think about it.
Maybe that should have been more of a what's the word? The
Oh, the DeLuca effect.
DeLuca effect. That's right.
I
Yeah,
mean, it is a DeLuca effect,
So
but
they
it's
should they
confusing.
just kind of got the colors wrong on the rear
Well,
figure.
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, the colors could have helped, but yeah, it's just confusing. But
yeah,
Lack of speed lines
but
too.
but like the point is that he was new and around that time, and he would not do that by issue 50. He would
yeah,
have done that
Yes.
panel completely
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think you can also see like as if this pose is not going to be coming up in say Longbow Hunters or any of the Green Arrow stuff that you would do afterwards, right? Like that is classic Ollie and Dinah hanging out.
Which the thing that got him inspired to get into comics was seeing Green Arrow by Neil Adams. Um, so
Is it Green Arrow or
fitting
is
that
it
you bring
Green
that up.
Lantern?
Both.
Uh,
It's
uh,
the
it
double
was
up,
Green Arrow,
right?
Green
The
Lantern,
double up.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had stopped reading when he was 10, which like I don't blame him, right? 1957 comics, a real low point for everyone involved.
Mm.
But by the late 60s, early 70s, yeah, he started seeing, oh, okay, comics can be a thing. Because the thing about the Warlord is that it was originally supposed to be, it was created originally with the intent of being a ongoing newspaper strip, like Prince
Yeah, he
Valiant or
pitched it to the
Tarzan,
syndicates, right?
and they were not receptive. They were like, "Man, if you had come in 15 years earlier, you'd we would have bought this." But now, no, no dice. They just were not into adventure strips for whatever reason.
And funnily enough, like DC at the time wasn't into stuff like this either, but he
Yeah,
pitched it and it somehow worked out.
well, he pitched it directly to Carmine Infantino.
But beyond that, I mean, it basically survived the first issue special trial, right? So it got its own book,
Yeah,
and the reception must have been pretty good. The fan mail must have been pretty good for him to get his own book, right?
Well, interestingly enough, there was the DC implosion, and he said that that signified it going from bi-monthly to monthly. So he benefited from the DC implosion, which
which
I don't think a lot of people can say that.
no, yeah, I wasn't quite clear on how that happened. Like they cut forty
Or
percent
why? Yeah.
of their production, right? And it was yeah, it was brutal for them.
But also in that interview, he said that it was DC's highest selling book eventually, which sounds crazy to me.
If you have read, no disrespect to Mr. Grell, because I know he's out there and there's a possibility he's watching. I love your work, man. But if you read his blog and a lot of the stuff he writes about himself, it's, tales grow in the telling, I
Relished.
suppose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're supposed to be your own biggest champion, right?
Yeah.
When you, I mean, that reminds me of like when you see blurbs in the back of books. I mean, in comics or whatever, like oftentimes it's the creator themselves writing that hyperbolic statement about all their achievements
Well,
and everything.
Except on the trade paperback of Assorted Crisis Events, which is available now. Any quote you see on it is from a real person that actually likes it.
well. Plug aside, though, I mean, Conan was selling really well for Marvel, and this was their answer to Conan, I guess. And
That has to be
even
it,
like
right?
even a response book is going to sell, pretty high as compared to the primary book, right?
See, yeah, like it has to, yeah, just because like this is because there are going to be some DC heads out there who are like, well, I'm not going to Marvel, and then to see, oh, also Barbarian, babes, satyrs, swords.
Yeah,
What's not to like here? Also, does anybody else get a kind of John Buscema vibe from this?
yeah. John Buscema, also
Uh,
Jose Gonzalez, a little bit.
Oh, good
I
call.
mean, I think Buscema's anatomy is a lot more. I don't know.
Structured. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, I actually kind of prefer. I prefer this because it's like wrong in all the. No, I wouldn't. I won't say it's wrong, but it's more interesting. I'll always take the more interesting over more accurate.
Yeah,
But I get a more of a Barry Windsor Smith vibe from this.
it's very expressionistic. Um,
Yeah, Barry
Yeah.
Windsor Smith is the primary. What comes off the page to me is him, BWS.
See, this is what's great about our show that you won't get on other shows is I don't know anything about Barry Windsor Smith other than what we've covered on this show already. But these guys, they know it and they say it.
But that's a beauty montage splash page right there, where he's fighting just a mountain of warriors.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and
to have the ambition to do that, and you said he was doing 3 books a month, so he's producing over 60 pages a month. Now that explains why this book has a lot of 4 to 5 panels per page. Like he's just kind of running them
Yeah.
off. But once in a while, you can tell he stops everything just to focus on this one. He's like, "This is the moneymaker right here, right?"
yeah, and he goes like he does this sort of thing where it's real big, but then he'll also do I really liked this little transition here. It's such a small thing, but to have like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
explosion behind the eyes and the okay, it's coming into focus. Oh, there she is. Oh, yeah. It's just a nice little like it's not splashy, right? This is what fans are coming for. But this is almost like story maintenance that just works so well and so elegantly.
I like how he's leaving room for the text. Like on
Oh
the
yeah.
splash page, he's put a lot of thought into the negative space and where the text is supposed to go. Like the
Yeah.
text is integrated very well into these pages, which is always nice to see from what is he like 3 or 4 years into his career? Which I
Yeah.
guess I mean he's done quite a bit leading up to this. So
Well, and he had taken a correspondence course with the famous artist school's correspondence course in cartooning, as well as going to the Chicago Academy of Fine Art. But I would think but you're right. Like you get too into like you could really go overboard on this. But for him to leave like this upper corner here for
I just
what
think
he
it's
knows is going to
what
be
a
there.
yeah, I think it's what a very mature artist does.
Yeah,
So it's very impressive when you see something like that.
Hmm.
it is. Yeah. It's Something that I still have to remind myself of when doing my own stuff. But
Yeah, sometimes I do as well. You can get kind of lost in
like how
I don't know.
cool it is to be drawing this thing, and then oh shit, they're not going to be able to say anything.
Yeah, he's employing a lot of like you can see all his know-how here with the perspective of the trail of slaves going into the sand dunes. Um, like even panel two there on the left page, the size relationship between the foreground figure and Warlord in the back there, like he knows what he's doing. He's trustworthy in terms of like he's not going to churn out stuff where the editor looks at it and he's like, "What is this? You know, like you did this wrong. This his head's too big, his hands are
Yeah,
too small. You know, whatever." Like he's very competent at this point.
yeah. And it's those size relationships and like the use of camera angles for them that I really hit upon while going through this. Like just zooming in real close or having this guy so close. Actually, it was in the just to go back for a sec, having this thing pop out.
Yeah,
This like having the sword pop out just to
Yeah.
give this dimensionality, which is it's like I do think he gets much better as he goes, but it is an incredible starting point for him that yeah, I don't know. It's like the it's like all the books that he had been doing beforehand were training and then this is him like tightening up.
well, it's how you sell the world too. I mean, those big, giant shots of like a trail of figures going into like the distance, and it's like the scope of the world too. He's still on Earth. He's just like fallen into the hollow Earth, right?
Yeah.
And even the
Yeah.
hollow Earth is just a world of itself, and it's like so expansive. And you know, there's like one, two, three panels there that shows very tiny figures going over large landscapes, and that sucks you right in. Seeing stuff like that, like even in National Geographic, if you see a picture of a desert and you see like maybe like just one person standing on one sand dune way in the distance, like it draws you in. You're like, holy, you know, the world is that big.
Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, like all of these sand dunes, all the crazy architecture inside. I love the little triceratops skull there. I mean not little. It's not the focus. But you're
Yeah.
right. It like it fills out the world.
Yeah, and if you are watching the show and you're an aspiring artist, just take note of stuff like that. Like if you've got your own ideas, like how can you sell it? It's stuff like that, man. That's how you suck the reader in.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a yeah, what's just the most interesting thing you can put in? Not just storytelling wise, which we do talk about a lot, but also just world building wise. Make sure to take a look at Assorted Crisis events, all the background stuff that Eric puts in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in there somewhere.
Exactly.
This is interesting that back then these comics were 18 pages long. Even
Yeah.
like 6 years later, issue 52 is 17 pages. So
Oh yeah,
uh,
yeah. Yeah. This is the shrinkflation era of comics, in which like we keep the price the same, but you're kind of getting less story.
Yeah,
Although
which I guess it's easier to do like 3 comics a month when they're only 17 or 18 pages. But
sure, yeah, true. But in order to fill it out, do Dragon Sword, which man, after reading this, I was also like, so we got to do a Tom
yeah,
Yates one,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
and
gorgeous
then
work.
Colin in the group chat comes at me with, man, we got to do a Tom Yates episode. Like,
yeah.
yes,
You're in my
exactly.
head.
Yeah,
3 or 4
it's
pages into just this dragon sword story, I immediately looked up the biography, bibliography, everything
yeah,
to do with Tom Yates. I'm like, this is, you know, of course, I was still researching for Grell, but like, I'm like opening tabs and putting them aside. I'm like, I'm gonna do a deep dive on this once we're done with this episode.
yeah, exactly. Like this alone, I saw this, I was like, yep, I got to find out more. Whatever it is.
There's
But
something about artists of that ilk that have worked on like Prince Valiant and Tarzan. Like they're these masterful artists that, just decide to take a journey towards comic art when they could have very well become like a master painter, right?
right, which going forward, Grell will do. He does the painted wraparound covers of the Longbow Hunter
Hmm.
issues,
Yeah.
um, and I think I I can appreciate it having taken up just a small amount of painting because I will admit I don't paint anything outside of for this show, but I am getting to the point where I feel like maybe I could just do it for fun as well, like not grind through it to get better, but just for the enjoyment of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can see the appeal. He was also in an interview talking about how he actually took the less lucrative um, while he was going to the Chicago School of Art. He was also working at two different studios, and ultimately ended up going with and putting more time into the one that was more illustration focused, rather than the more print based like graphic design one. So it's something that he is very interested in for like a long time.
Hmm.
When he got drafted into the Air Force, like he got caught up into the draft, and as he describes it, he talked his way into being an illustrator for the Air Force. Which, if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to check out our episode on the Nam, which it's a comic and it's not based on anything in particular other than the experiences of actual Vietnam vet Larry Hama, to get a better idea of what it was like. All right. So this is issue 52. So this would be the 51st. No, no, the 52nd story that he had penciled because it was.
Yeah, I wonder what the reason for issue 51 being a reprint is. Like, usually it's because there's a delay or someone's late, and so in a panic, you just do a reprint.
I think it was all
I
firing on all cylinders for 50, and 50 was double sized, I believe.
and
Okay.
and it was. I don't know. I could also see like, well, your last issue, the big issue is coming is coming out. Maybe let's revisit. Which,
Yeah, that's fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because like comparing that first issue with this issue, I do get like the same vibes from looking at like a Conan #1 and then looking at Conan 24, just like the leap in quality that like Barry Windsor Smith went through. Because yeah, we're gonna see even from this like first page,
oh yeah,
it's he's almost a completely different artist.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Like this feels. I don't know. This gives me not just Conan vibes, but also uh, Simonson vibes as well. Like this feels like Thor
Manhunter?
era. I was thinking Thor,
You're
just like
thinking Thor?
the long skinny panels. And I know that Thor is, well, actually, this is 81, so they're around the same time. But
But
as you say, Barry Windsor Smith as well.
well, also, if you look at what else was coming out, there was Tomb of Dracula, there was Master of Kung Fu. Like Paul Gulacy was doing these long panels, he was doing small panels with like extreme close-ups on faces, and you don't get the whole face in there, but maybe just half or a quarter of the face, and just for a reaction shot, and just atmosphere through wind and the rain and things like that. You can see that like these guys were all, I'm only speaking for Grell, but like these artists may have been playing off each other and be like, oh yeah, okay, like I'm gonna do that next, right? Like I'm gonna see what I can do with that. So I can see
I
that
mean,
here
but
just off the first page.
first and
Yeah.
foremost, it's like you do 50 issues, you're just going to improve like immensely,
Yeah,
and
a lot of these things
and
will become second nature to you as well, depending on the story, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this kind of spread is not something that he would have attempted in issue one, right? To take up all of this time.
yeah, and I think he became very well known for these double, like the page 2 and 3 are double page spreads, and I think that's throughout most of Warlord was that, and Yeah, I think Kirby popularized this during his Fourth World run, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he was inspired by Kirby, but
He, from what I can tell from the interviews, he definitely has a respect for Kirby, as we all do.
as anyone should.
Yeah, like even if you're not pulling directly from him, something he has made is going to be an extreme influence on you, even if you're not aware that that's what's happening.
I like that on the previous page you can see everybody on the creative team did their signature,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool
Right.
to see.
Yeah.
And I think the written and illustrated by Mike Grell, I think he carries that over to his creator owned work, like that. Like the credit page always has that signature Mike Grell look, which does that show up in Starslayer?
we'll find out at the end of this episode.
Yeah, people have to stick around to the end to find out, I
Yeah,
guess.
solve the mystery of the signature.
But I was gonna say, I think like Foster and Williamson were more his wheelhouse compared to
That's
Kirby.
yeah,
You know,
that's
you
the
just
big
gravitate towards like like I love all different kinds of art, but there's just a handful of artists where I'm like, this is what I wish I could draw like more so than
I
you know
and I think
the other.
that's what we need to think of in terms of like, well, what would he want to be? Who would he want to be in terms of an artist? And yeah, the newspaper strip guys, Foster especially, because he eventually works on Tarzan on the
Yeah, which
newspaper
was like
strip.
a dream come true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain generation that just like worshipped syndicated comics,
It was the classier of the two mediums.
Hmm.
and I guess rumor was that it paid better,
Yeah.
but I think he says yeah that turned out not to be true.
Yeah, you only work 3 or 4 days a week, you get paid $1 million a year or something. That's what
Which
somebody
was a
told him
story
anyway.
somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but when he got Tarzan, I think it was a European published Tarzan comic, and I don't know who it was that recommended that he chase them up to get the job, but he's like, yeah, they're drawing Tarzan like an ugly Conan. Tarzan's supposed to be handsome. He's supposed to be better looking than Conan. So like try to draw a really nice looking Tarzan for
Oh,
this, all
that's
right?
interesting. Yeah.
So and yeah, I mean, obviously like that's a really formative part of his work as well. His body of work that is as well.
Yeah. I do think you can see like his anatomy has improved, not already, but it has notably improved. And we also like also great horse. What a difficult thing to draw. Just a frustratingly complex animal.
That is a alien horse though.
It's not an alien. It's from Earth.
Well, that yeah, I guess. Hollow Earth.
Which is what's fun about this series, right? Is that in this world, well, you could have all kinds of crazy bullshit, but you can also have just horses or cats or women
Yeah.
that turn into cats. To our previous point, though, about the splash pages. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like he's taking color more into consideration with this one by this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, also at the same time, his passage of time, like if you look at the left page, those 4 panels at the bottom, he starts to employ more of that in Green Arrow and
Mm.
Future Works as well, where it's like just a very subtle, just somebody who's distracted by one thing and then distracted by another. Like there's like a mild passage of time, a few seconds there.
Yeah, but he slows it down for you in order to kind of take in the
Yeah,
realization,
yeah,
because like this reveal is he's made it out. He's back on the outside of the planet.
yeah,
And
After 50 issues.
yeah, and it wasn't what he was expecting.
yeah.
But you're right, like Colin, you get it again,
Again,
right?
yeah,
Like he loves like the slow build up of just nothing. Oh, and then a MiG just blasting over him.
How long did it take you guys to read this issue?
Not long.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
unusual.
kind of feels like a decompressed 2000s era comic
It
that
does.
probably reads better in trade, which
Yeah.
is I guess very ahead of its time, cuz like when was the first time it was collected in trade? Like actually I'm going to look that up now.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's.
but
I don't think it was popular. It was.
Eric,
Oh,
though
no, you don't think so?
you say that it was decompressed, but at the same time, or excuse me, it was ahead of its time. In this case, it was of its time in that like he goes up against a fighter jet with just a pistol. And if you made a movie out of like, how could you sell this in a movie? Like the jet's flying at like subsonic speed, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I got this one shot. Oh, and he gets the pilot right through the cockpit. How? Like
Yeah. It makes me think of
a
the
pistol.
Simpsons episode at the air show
Yeah.
of just like the fighters just blowing by the biplane. Sideshow Bob is in. It's like, yeah, it's so fast you would never see it.
Plus, pistols shoot like a bullet at 1,000 feet per second, like at best.
Yeah.
This issue has never been reprinted.
52
Um,
has never been reprinted?
It'll probably get the
yeah,
omnibus treatment, though.
so there was only one showcase present, like the showcase was the version of DC version of Marvel's Essentials. So
The
Mm.
Showcase
phone books,
presents the
right?
Warlord came out in 2009. So it was basically black and white reprinting the first 28 issues, and then there was no volume 2, and then the recently released Omnibus volume 1 hardcover only reprints up to issue 36. So I mean,
Yeah.
Warlord fans are hoping for an Omnibus Volume 2, in which case it'll be the first time this particular issue 52, will have been reprinted, which is very interesting considering, it feels like this comic reads better in trade, in my opinion,
I think
and
so,
it's
yeah.
never been reprinted
Well,
in
it
trade.
was initially announced they were going to do 2 volumes of the of Grell's omnibuses.
Yeah. And, the 2025 one came out December, so what? We're looking at
We'll get the
July?
second one this
August?
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometime. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I hope we see it. I hope I got to take a look at the omnibus cuz like if it's got good quality, I might lay down the
It's
130 bucks for them.
apparently it's on faux newsprint, so
Oh.
it's very light. It's like the
Oh, that's
lightest
what you were talking
omnibus.
about. Okay.
Yeah, this is like the lightest omnibus that you'll ever get, maybe, and it looks good on that paper.
It probably
Oh,
cost
good.
just as much to print, regardless. Hey.
That was our experience with the newsprint issue of Sort of Crisis Events. We were like, "Are we going to save money? Is it going to cost more?" And it was like there was like an $8 difference total.
Whoa.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
very interesting.
So
And
make
then
sure you check
when I
out
got the
issue
comp
8.
boxes, like usually the comp boxes arrive and they're really heavy. When that issue arrived, I picked it up and I was like, "Whoa, what's am I super strong or something? Why this is normally
Oh, like a
heavier?" And it's
football.
just very very light.
I do want to draw. I love this panel. I don't know why. Just like the attention given to like loading like losing the clip and pulling out another. Because one of the interesting things going through the earlier issues is he's only got the bullets he goes in with.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna bring that up. Like,
every shot is like, boy, this is like this can't miss, and I have to choose them. I think from context, it looks like he picked up some. Yeah, luckily I took that ammo from the saddle pouch, so he's got like more. But one of the interesting things is Grell seemed to be keeping a tally of like, here's how many bullets he has now.
Well, the pistol itself was him hanging on to modern day Earth. That was
Yeah,
his one constant, you could say, is his one reminder of modern day Earth, because he was stuck
yeah.
somewhere where it was like prehistoria, right? So
Which, like, in that world, a handgun, a modern handgun, you'd become a god, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just, yeah, I can blow tangerine-sized holes through you. Bow before me. But as a testament to the character of Travis Morgan, we should say that is the character's actual name, Travis Morgan,
right.
Colonel Travis Morgan. Um, he
Who
uh,
is
he doesn't do it.
he's quite flawed and brash. Like, he'll
Yep.
roll into a village and take it over and then leave, and then the village gets taken over by someone else. Like, he
Yeah.
does a lot of stuff throughout the run, which is, it's human. It's very foolhardy in some cases. It's very hard-headed, but yeah, I mean, he goes through life making mistakes and learning from them, and paying for them in a lot of cases, and yeah.
Yeah, the writing on top of the art is, I think, what hit me. Like, we've talked more and more about cartoonists, and Grell is a cartoonist, right?
Yeah.
He's doing all of this. Um, Obviously, he's got the team that we saw, but he's still like, no, this is my story, and I'm gonna tell it. I just want to talk about this too. Like, man, this fucking rocks. This is so
Yeah,
cool.
it does.
That reminds me of Simonson on Manhunter, like
Ooh,
towards
good
the end of the
call.
run. That
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
definitely, hearkening to that for me.
Yeah. But we see 17 pages. That's it. Chainmail up next. Find out what's on
Yeah,
Saturday
man.
morning, and then back to Dragon Sword, which also, again, rad. But that's not what this episode is.
But it will be someday.
So I guess his wife at the time took over writing chores after this, and then he went on to Starslayer.
His wife was ghostwriting for a while, and he did return for. Where did I put that? He did return for issue 59, but thematically I don't know that it wasn't as interesting to include that, but I will kind of, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, there's the double page spread, and there's his signature.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but he's got a different he's got Mike DiCarlo on inks.
oh, interesting.
Yeah,
He didn't. He
which
didn't. He inked those other two issues we saw, right?
he inked the
When he inked
first
himself.
one. He inked the first one, but it
Oh shoot,
was,
yeah. Rodin Rodriguez.
yeah. Yeah, Rodin Rodriguez, who I think is a better inker for him. Um, but we can talk about an ink. We can talk about inkers later on. But I don't know. It's just like this felt more like a coda to his run rather than an actual like continuation and milestone on his artistic journey. So I don't know.
Well, he
I mean,
he also did a 4-issue miniseries in 1992 and a 16-issue series from 2009 to 2010.
Yeah, he does keep returning to it, and they seem to keep trying to make it happen, and it just
I
like
mean,
four
how
volumes.
well, much like the Creeper,
had like 130 plus issues the first time, so
Yeah,
I would say that happened. They
yeah,
made it happen.
yeah. That's true.
but just like one of those lesser known characters that is still, tied to the DC mythos, and deserves his spotlight here and there. Like, he did make an appearance in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon episode, animated show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like he's integrated, not a whole lot, and I don't know that he's. It doesn't look like he's returned since the New 52 era or beyond, but I don't know. It also seems like, yeah, why would it? Like that's way too close to, I don't know, some bullshit conspiracy theory that just quickly leads you down darker avenues. Let's not go into Hollow Earth stuff. But I did want to bring this out just because Adam Kubert letters on
Oh, very
Arion.
cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
What year was that?
this is,
80, like 3, 82?
this is 82, July 82.
Okay, yeah, he probably just graduated the Kubert School around then.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, we should just like note it because Adam Kubert. Well, we've done several episodes on the Kubert boys, and once Colin gets settled, we'll get
A Joe episode.
yeah, Joe episode. Thank you.
We will get a
Joe
Joe Odyssey.
Yeah. Yeah, and he would go on to do Starslayer.
So Starslayer is sort of the inverse of Warlord in that it's like a modern day guy thrown into the future.
I thought it was. I didn't think it was a modern day guy. I think it's like an ancient Roman soldier.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it is an inverse, which is kind of it's a theme, I would say, of Grell, of like, here's my concept, here's my mirror of that concept. Because I know John Sable is supposed to be kind of the inverse of Batman and the inverse of James Bond.
Oh, interesting.
More
Yeah.
Bond, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the secret. The secret identity thing is he specifically references Batman when it comes to John Sable. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean, this stuff looks gorgeous.
it does.
And it's so very retro future 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot more, I don't know, I can only describe the inking style as like it's a lot more slash based, I guess.
It's very Michael Kaluta, a little like just that's the artist that just came to me as I was looking at this stuff.
But I think it is him because it's written and illustrated by Mike Grell, colors Steve Olaf.
Yeah, because this was creator owned. He wanted to own his own thing.
Yeah.
And like creator ownership was rare around that time. But like, yeah, we kind of talked about Pacific Comics in the Dave Stevens episode, but the Shanes brothers offered him a chance to do a creator owned book, something he could own, and he jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah, and used it for like there are no rules now. I'm gonna do just a huge double page spread of a comics page.
But not just that, like he's doing vast landscapes. He's really putting the pedal to the metal on this. Maybe because he owns it. I don't know. Because I'm sure he's very passionate about Warlord as well.
Yeah.
But it's just that he doesn't get a full say. Excuse me, a full say on Warlord. Whereas here he's like, do whatever you want. He's like, okay, I want the most epic, David Lynch Dune type of sci-fi story possible.
Right. Which is like this is the era to do it, right? Because like Star Wars has taken off. But for whatever reason, like if you watch the other sci-fi movies of the era, they don't come close to Star Wars in any way.
Right.
Like it's and they're all trying, but the only place you could really get it would be comics, right? Mm-hmm. Star Wars is in the cultural zeitgeist. Yeah, I am going to go all out with it. Princess Babe, barbarian dude in space.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go all the way with it. So when you say pedal to the metal, like, yeah, look at this.
Yeah,
this is a heavy metal album put to paper.
Now the page on the right, that diagonal line through the half of the page, the flow doesn't get interrupted. Like it's still like your eye goes on a journey in a way. Like it just kind of floats around the page and just kind of takes it all in. Like I love stuff like that. It's more, I mean, comics can get very formulaic, especially when you're doing talking heads from like A to Z, from left to right, up, down, that kind of thing. But I like it when they actually take the chance to cut diagonally or at a certain angle that will kind of break off the path and your eye just kind of starts to float across the page rather than just go, left, right, down, up, down.
Yeah, because he's trusting the audience, right? It's the
Yeah.
same as when he's like dropping out panel borders here. He's trusting the audience to get it. There's kind of a more like a breakdown of formalism as he goes, which we see like from Warlord #1 through Warlord 52
Yeah.
through into Starslayer.
But also being that it's a talking head scene, floating kind of helps you slow down a bit too and take in what's
That's
being
a very good
told
call.
because she's filling
Yes.
him in on the world, right?
Yeah.
She's filling him in on what's going on and what's the down low and all that kind of stuff. So you got to kind of stop and just take it in a little bit.
There was that interview in Amazing Heroes where all he talked about was John Sable, and there were no questions about Starslayer, and that was maybe like 3 or 4 years after Starslayer came out. So it felt like, to me, it was like, oh, Starslayer was a thing he did for a bit, and he's moved on.
Yeah, and I think when they're talking about the John Sable show, I looked it up. That did go to air. Like they aired six episodes.
Really? There was a John Sable show?
Yeah.
When?
1989. It was
Really?
it was blink and you miss it though. Like it got no ratings and he was super unhappy with it. So he was not fussed
What
about
network?
it. It was either ABC or NBC, one of the two.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I was surprised to see because you can find old pilots on YouTube, and just
You
and
watch
nobody
Cop Rock on YouTube.
exactly exactly. But nobody bothers to take them down because nobody cares, right? This didn't go anywhere. Nobody really owns it anymore. Who cares? But yeah, so I thought, oh, it must be one of those, right? I look into it. Nope, 6 episodes on the air, but he was pretty disappointed with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, he didn't like the inversion of his whole thing was, he's a cold-blooded killer pretending to be a children's author, and he would he's only a children's author for 2 to 3 hours a day, and the rest he's James Bond fucking and killing his way across the world. And they flip that so that he's he's usually a children's author, except when he does
Easier on the budget.
yeah, exactly. All right, so and we see this again, the just leaving blank spaces for
Yeah, it looks
text.
beautiful.
Yeah. Like it would be so tempting to put more star fields behind it, but like all of the writing gets cleared, but so are the figures. And it gets a lot more, it's less representational. It's not a direct one-to-one. There is this they're on the bridge. You get it. The bridge of this ship. You get it. We're trusting the audience here.
These pages look like he's just unleashed.
Yeah.
Like he's ready to impress. He's ready to show off what he can do. It feels like this isn't intended to sound insulting, but it feels like he was a company man and he was doing gigs before. But with these Starslayer comics, it feels like he's never been more passionate.
Because he can do whatever he wants, period.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's nobody telling him you can't put sails on a spaceship. You can here.
You know what's wild is that actually I was thinking about that while I was reading this, is the sails on the ship are like the solar panels that spread out in modern day space shuttles now for solar power. Like as soon as I saw that red sail, I'm like, I don't think they had even come up with the concept of doing that in space travel at the time. This was in the 80s, 30, 40 years later. You see that in movies now where they kind of spread out these giant...
Yeah, they kind of unfurl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It looks cool as hell.
I love her hair. I love
Yeah,
Yeah.
what he
like
does with her hair
he
here.
doesn't need to be like the circular panel. We love a circular panel around here, as we're all discovering. And just to have, I don't know, there's something cool about this kind of minimalist. It's almost like a black box theater version of comics, where yeah, focus here. Ship, they're on the ship, but that's not really what we're talking about. Um, it's more about the explanation of what's going on by her to him, so that it's like the scene becomes, I don't know, almost like that blank white space in the Matrix when he's explaining everything to
Mm.
him.
Well, it's beautiful exposition nonetheless, right? Like
Yeah,
he really explores a lot of different ideas in terms of storytelling here.
and it's so clean too, right? It's not busy. Like I love the use of dropping out, like
Yeah,
I
dropping out
love
to
that
very
shit.
detail the
inverted.
figures.
That
Yeah,
I love that stuff right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Man,
Ah,
every page is gorgeous.
yeah. So we're all agreed. We'll all try to find as much Starslayer stuff
Well,
as we can.
these first two issues too, it's all just explaining shit. I mean,
Yeah,
there's things going on in present time, but like she's guiding him through. He's like again, he's not from this era. He's not from this
yeah.
time. So she's like, okay, let me give me the lowdown. It's going to take 40 odd pages to tell you. But at the same time, the ship is like, under attack or whatever the case may be. Like the story moves along really well. You're sucked right in.
Ah, look at this.
Crazy.
So apparently he reprinted all of these in the 90s, and I think they were recolored.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, I'd be intrigued to see what the recoloring is, because it's still it wouldn't be digital coloring, I think, because I think it
Well,
was
if it's in the 90s, there is that possibility, right?
Corel Draw was just released.
Yeah, exactly. But I hope it's not. Like I love, like, look at her here, right? The small amount of color down here, but then just blown out. She looks great. That is an
Mm.
excellent use of color and excellent not use of color. And I loved like everything is blue tinted.
yeah. So it was the 1994 edition was Starslayer: The Director's Cut, and the solicitation said this 8-issue series will completely retell and revise the seminal Starslayer saga.
Hmm.
Oh, so he pulled a
So
George Lucas.
Yeah.
yeah, I should
He took all the
track those
guns
down
out of
and
their
see the
hands and
differences.
replaced them with radios.
It says totally rewritten and somewhat redrawn by Mike Grell.
I don't like that. No, 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 no.
No.
This is
Pass.
Mike Grell
Yeah.
just going hard
I
all
mean,
the
this
way.
stuff is gorgeous.
Yeah,
What
like
is?
why would you want
But
to clean this up, change it, modify it in any way? I don't know. Especially because I don't know, it's just like it's a capsule of who you were too, right?
yeah,
Like this is
it's
Mike
history.
Grell when he was here in this time of his life. Like maybe he doesn't like it, maybe he sees the problems with it, but I don't know. It's he went all the way with
Mm.
it, you know?
He definitely did. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's possible that like we're only looking at the first two issues. Maybe he ran out of steam with issue 5 and 6, and so that's the stuff he's redrawing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth investigating further, potentially for a future episode.
Pretty sure when we're gonna do the Green Arrow episode, we'll start with the Star Slayer finishing up, and then lead into Green Arrow, something like that.
Yeah, because that's what I think of him as being most known for is the Green Arrow stuff. Because it's not just Longbow Hunter, right? He does a bunch of issues a on Green Arrow afterwards.
The ongoing series, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like his vibe. I mean, it was. I remember reading it for the first time. It was set in Seattle, and it was
yeah, not
very,
Star City. It was
yeah, it was, and it was. street level and that sort of thing. And I don't know, I've been to Seattle a bunch of times, so it kind of felt different reading it. I felt very like invested in a way because I had a familiarity with the area. And yeah, just
Yeah,
what was going on there. I'm like, yeah, I can see this working down there.
yeah, yeah. And he cuts out a lot of superpowers. I don't think. I think when Green Lantern shows up, he's like in civilian clothes and never uses the ring.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not Green Lantern. It's Hal Jordan.
yeah.
Which, like, man, what a way to go at that time. But hey, we're all artists. What'd you guys work on this week?
Well, I guess I'll go first.
All
It's
right.
not finished at the time of this show, but I had just penciled in a Warlord drawing. It's Warlord standing, a token pose of him standing with his gun and sword. He's standing in a contrapposto pose with no legs. But the audience obviously can see the finished product right there, right now. Right?
Bam.
Ooh,
Nice. Eric, how about you?
I'm just working on assorted crisis events, but yeah, I should say that they just announced the. I guess in March, Image is doing an Invincible Team Up month. So every cover, every Image comic will have a cover featuring an Invincible Universe character. So yeah, this is the assorted crisis events issue. I
That's
did. Yeah, hand
Right
drawn logo
on.
and everything. I just sold this original art, so I'm putting it in the mail tomorrow, actually. But
That's my favorite
um,
cover of that whole month. The second runner up would probably be Geiger by Gary Frank. That's a really nice one
oh yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah, they were all pretty cool. It's a
Hell
pretty
yeah.
fun initiative. It was pretty cool that Robert Kirkman let us all play in that sandbox.
Right on. For my part, I've done this.
Oh, very cool.
Yo, that's nice, dude.
Thank you. This is I ran into the dream of all artists. Hey, wait, this pose, I've already drawn it before. Which reminds me, if anybody wants to publish Jason Jang, 96 pages, ready to go. But I had already penciled this digitally, and I thought, yeah, I could recreate that with my dumb hand and dumb pencil.
There's
And
some good weight to that swing there.
thank you.
Yeah, I like that
And
a lot.
this here Velociraptor, heavily inspired by Bill Watterson. And
I was going to say,
Ah,
it
yeah,
yeah,
looks
nice,
like Bill Watterson's Incline
yeah,
nice.
was an inspiration.
yeah, exactly. It's I when we did that episode, I realized, like, man, there's a point where he figures out dinosaurs and just he cannot be beat. Like a lot of the early dinosaur stuff, it's very 1 million BC sort of thing. But once he gets like Jurassic Park era dinosaurs, no one comes close. You're a
Yeah.
fool to not at least take a look at Bill Watterson's dinosaurs if that's what you're drawing.
What made you choose purple for the background?
I wanted it to pop with the green of this guy because I thought,
Mm,
it's probably going to get washed out if I went with something that was more like this, like
you
more of
think so?
a. Yeah, I was worried about it, and I wanted it to tie it into his early costume, which is
Oh,
colored.
black. Yeah,
Yeah, which is like black with like that purple blue
yeah,
highlight stuff.
yeah.
So I
Good
wanted to
call.
tie it
Good call.
into that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
on.
that looks great.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Should we close this one out?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, everybody, before we go, don't forget the further adventures of Luke Zenith and Scorpio Gold are coming soon. Assorted Crisis Events, the first trade paperback from Image Comics, is out now. Don't forget to order it from your local comics retailer. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Cool.